नमः सर्वेभ्यः शुभ प्रातः कालः तु प्रार्थनया प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। तो अद्य अस्माभिः अनुवादपद्धतिः इति नवमभागस्य प्रथमपाठस्य नवमभागस्य पठनं क्रियते। कथं संस्कृतभाषातः आङ्ग्लं प्रति आगन्तव्यं, तथैव अग्रे यदि वयं सम्यक् जानीमः आङ्ग्लभाषातः संस्कृतपर्यन्तं कथं गन्तव्यम् इत्यपि। तो अनुवादपद्धतिः, so translation methodology. Hereafter, under this heading, the method of simple translation is taught. Translation is the rendering of thought of one language into another. I think the thought is a good word. If you master the art of translating, you should be able to express your ideas properly in the language that you are learning. Errors can also be minimized. So it's basically they're trying to say attempting translations can be a method of learning. Okay, that's the keyword to take from here. Okay, translation is of two types: translation of the purport, the intent, something like that could be the word for purport. This is well said in Sanskritam as bhavanuvadaha. तो यः किमपि वदन् अस्ति तस्य भावः कः, तस्य मनसि केन भावेन वाक्यमुक्तमस्ति इति ज्ञात्वा तस्य अनुवादः यदि कुर्मः तर्हि भावानुवादः. That is the purport. Literal translation of the word to word or the word to word translation, शब्दानुवादः. पदानां राशिः वाक्यम् इति बहु सरलरीत्या स्वीकृत्य केवल पदानां अनुवादः कुर्मः चेत् तत् शब्दानुवादः भवति. तत्रापि किञ्चित् व्यवधानं स्थापनीयम् अस्माभिः. किमर्थं? संस्कृते एकस्य पदस्य प्रायः आङ्ग्ले द्वित्रि आदि अर्थाः भवितुं शक्यन्ते. तु सन्दर्भे शब्दस्य अर्थः कः इति ज्ञात्वा करणीयं. There is possibility of one shabda having many meanings. So contextually we have to take the meaning. So that's also not trivial. Literal translation is also not trivial. But what happens in literal translations, if you don't understand the destination grammar correctly or the source grammar from where you're coming, you don't understand correctly, disasters can happen. They will show that. Anyway, the former should be our aim. So eventually bhavanuvada is the advice. Literal translation is only like a intermediate steps. This requires special equipment in our head. Huh? Today, of course, artificial intelligence apps. But anyway, bhavanuvada can be mastered only when you have command over a language. This is very true. Especially, however well we learn a language, certain things are extremely native, and if you have grown up in the environment only you will gain, or if you spend sufficient time with such masters of the local language, using all the variant styles and phrases that they make use of, and also the gade we call in Kannada, the proverbs of the region play extremely critical role in India. If you don't know the proverb of the region and bring in a proverb from another region, it may not be understood properly. So the proverbs of the region in the original tongue have to be known and utilized. Figures of speech have to be utilized. So that's when you can say mastery is there. The key to this lies in employing a flowing style of words of that language, which has its own uniqueness. Literal translation is a stepping stone to it. See, literal translation, Shabdanuvada, is a stepping stone. The latter is advisable in the beginning, that is Shabdanuvada. But you must remember that this is not our ultimate aim. Even though we give the meaning of every word, while translating literally, we will not be expressing the intention or intent of the speaker of the language of the original completely. But finally, please also note, language is more powerful when spoken than when written, always, always. Because some things cannot be put in writing, which is the body language and the kaku, the tonality language, right? Here and there, using the correct lakara, you can bring it in. But sometimes if it is a little beyond the lakara forms available, or especially in a language, foreign language like English for us, where we are even sometimes unable to appreciate the subtle difference between should, could, could, and all those things, right? So it is a little bit lost. Therefore, our goal should be to express the idea contained in the original clearly in another language. Here are a few examples to show how mere word-to-word translation can result in a grammatically wrong sentence. Monkey climbs the tree or a tree. Vanaraha vrikshaha arohati. Everything looks correct. Monkey, Vanaraha, look in the library book, dictionary. It will list Vanaraha. So then you can, it's okay, Vanaraha. Then tree, you will look up, it says vrikshaha. You put down vrikshaha. Climbs, you look arohati. So the nothing is there in the library for that. So you leave it. Okay. So maybe Saha Vrikshaha Arohati, maybe someone might try to translate that also into Saha in the context. But this is a disaster because see, this is in Pratama, this is in Pratama, and then there is a Kriyapada. Who is climbing? Is Vriksha climbing or Vanara climbing? So this Sanskrit sentence is extremely scientific. You cannot have unrelated Pratama Purusha words like if Vanaraha Vrikshaha means either the Vriksha is being titled as a Vanara or the Vanara is being titled as a Vriksha, because they have to be Visheshana Visheshya to belong in a Pratama Vibhakti, right? So it's a disaster. So the facilities like Vibhakti, there is nothing like that there, right? Monkey, tree, climbs, all literally you can translate. The sentence order plays a huge role in English. If you say tree climbs the monkey, it's something else. But
Kshamyataam,
here,
namaskaraga.
so here, instead, we depend on the vibhakti pratyayas to relate to the verb. That's that, if you remember that hexagonal chart I showed of the karaka, that karaka chart has to be there in your mind. Okay, karaka, and we have to actually make an extended hexagon chart showing the shashti vibhakti, how it belongs, and the visheshana visheshya, how it belongs, and where avyayas belong. If we can come up with some nice master chart for sentence using all that, that will be nice. And then maybe we should show another one for how a clause and a prime combine, okay, in a sentence. Okay, all right. Um, Let me see if I can think up something nice visual for all that. The boy reads the lesson. Balakah patah patati. Same problem. Patah should have been patham patati. It's target. If it is patham, then you can put in any order in Sanskrit, it will work out. Patham balakah patati. Patati balakah patham. See, also the kaku. Sometimes the order requires a slightly different kaku to express the stress we want to place in. Or some kind of kavitva. Sometimes the reordering will help make the sentence a little more musical. Okay. She crosses the river. Sa nadi tarati. Again, nadim, Tritiya Vibhakti. So all these are very common errors that they're pointing out, where we put things in Pratama when they belong in Dvitiya. Because then we won't be able to distinguish who is the karta, who is the karma in the sentence if you don't do that. In English, it is in order, right? Or the "the" is playing a very critical role in English, if you notice. If you cannot separate "the" from river. The river she crosses, that's also fine. The river crosses she, disaster. Okay, some things you can, with pairs, you can order correctly. She crosses is important order, the river is in important order. Then you can, interchange the pair. So each language has its own idiosyncrasies or benefits, whichever way you look at it. In Sanskritam, if you use the correct vibhaktis, it allows other orders easily. in these examples, but even in, believe me, even in Sanskritam, when there is a Visheshana Visheshya pair, ideally we should pair them, right? In neighborhood also we should pair them. Typically start off with the Visheshanas and then end with the Visheshya. So if it is just one pair, Visheshana Visheshya, like that it should go. And that is not mandatory, because through Vibhakti we can track them. And through context we know who is Visheshya, who is Visheshana. You have also done exercises to find out. This 70% game, what we call. In these examples, the underlined words should have been in Dvitiya Vibhakti. By translating each word separately without taking the relationship between the words into consideration, the error has occurred. OCC has gone off in my scan. Okay, so I think we got this. So they have just, it's a stepping stone, Anuvada Paddhati. They are going to teach more and more and more. This is the first leading couple of things they have put. You will see this chapter repeat continuously in the future lessons to teach us more about this. Okay. Any questions? I don't think at this point. I think it's quite easy what we have studied so far. Okay. So I'll move forward. Let's save time for very critical things. So Sandhihi, very useful, very beautiful feature of Sanskritam, and also one that taxes us a little bit, makes us climb into certain expertise. So this chapter is introducing just what is Sandhi and what are the types. It's not going to teach you specifically any particular Sandhi, because even the examples have a mixture of them. Okay. The goal of Parichaya level, okay, is to teach you Swara Sandhis. Okay, so you will learn Swara Sandhis largely at the end of this level. Euphonic combinations. Euphonic combinations. A phoneme means a small part of the vocalization we make. Okay, so you can say sometimes one alphabet or a combination of alphabets form a phoneme. But for Sanskritam, it is finally one Sanskritam alphabet, or what we call Samyuktakshara. That's a phoneme. Okay. Okay. Euphonic combinations. That means combinations of phoneme. I don't know how this euphonic and all generate. I'm sure there is a Latin way of finding out. Are introduced under this heading. So to say in Sanskritam, Aksharanam Samyogah Asmin Pathe Pathyate, something like that you can. Aksharanam Samyogah Sandhihi. Aksharanam Samyogah Sandhihi. But there is a little more. That's a very, very Prathamika Lakshana Kathana. Okay. Atra eva aham pustakam sthapitavan. So here atra eva. Okay. I just early short, it's called Vriddhi Sandhi, because when we see Aikara, Ukara, we know it's Vriddhi Sandhi. Atra eva, aham pustakam sthapitavan. Aham bhavantam kutrapi drishtavan. Kutra api, kutrapi. Kutra, somewhere, and api. So somewhere. Kutrapi is used like a combination almost always. But there is a Sandhi there. Okay. Aham Katuvachanam Nechami Na Ichami. Aham Katuvachanam Na Ichami. I don't desire a harsh word. Okay, I don't wish a harsh word to be spoken, something like that. Okay, that's a Bhavanuvada. Aham Bhavantam Kutrapi Drishtavan. That Bhavanuvada is, I have seen you somewhere, like that. It's a little kind of half question element to that. Okay. All right. So Adyatanaha Karyakramaha Atyuttamaha Asit. Okay. See, Visheshya. Just to know that thing of today, the function, very good it was. Okay. The Visheshya is Karyakramaha, but the Atyuttama had to be brought in later, because it is the accent word in the sentence, not because it is in bold, guys, because it is later. I am saying, though it is a Visheshana to Karyakrama as Atyuttama Karyakrama, but it has been brought later because the accent of the sentence, the intent, the purport of the sentence is to say it was great. Okay. You don't say a great function was. I mean, just as in English, it makes weird sense. Same way in Sanskritam also, sometimes when you want to accent a word, you have to bring it closer to the action, which is the asit. Okay. Adyatanaha karyakramah atyuttamaha asit. Tau sahodarau Ramalakshmanaviva staha. Okay, in Atyuttamaha there is Ati Uttamaha, Atyuttamaha, I, U, Ya. So that is a Yan Sandhi. I know now because instantly in my brain, tuck, tuck, tuck clicks and then I recognize. You will very soon, by the time we finish this, in the next couple of months, you will be masters of all this. Okay. Tau sahodarau Ramalakshmanaviva staha. Those two brothers, like Rama and Lakshmana, like because of Eva, they are, those two are the Dvivachana, staha, asti, staha, santi. So Rama, Lakshmana, Eva, that is Lakshmanau, Eva. So au plus E becomes avi. Okay, that is called Vantadesha. Okay, in the place of au, vakara has come in with another dirgha because of au goes to av. Okay, you will learn this sandhi. It's called yanta vanta desha in the full name, or just vanta desha because the specific sub element from yanta desha vanta desha we are taking is vanta desha here. Okay, it's also having another name called ayadi sandhi because in technical grammarian world it starts with ai as the first substitute. Okay. Ayadi, ayi, etc. Sandhi, ayadi sandhi, like that. Okay. So all are scientific names. Ayadi sandhi is scientific name. Yanta desha is scientific name. Vanta desha is scientific name. Yanta vanta desha is also scientific name. Except each has a slightly different viewpoint to how to call that sandhi. That's all. Sharadvarya, I noticed that you are trying to unmute often. Is there a question? No. Thing is
Sorry,
just
sir.
that. No problem. Maybe by accident it's happening. Okay. So what we saw, atra eva, atraiva. So vriddhi sandhi. Kutra api, kutra api. Savarna dirgha sandhi. Just ignore I am saying what is the name. Just let it fall into your ears. Na ichchami, nechchami. Okay. This is a plus e, a. Guna sandhi we call it. Because it's not I, it is a only. Guna sandhi. Then ati uttamaha, atyuttamaha, yana sandhi. Then Rama Lakshmana viva, Rama Lakshmanau iva, Rama Lakshmana viva, Vanta desha or Ayadi sandhi or Yanta Vanta desha, but better to call it just Vanta desha or Ayadi sandhi because no need to bring Yanta. That is not. Okay. In the above examples, observe the words in the bold type, Atraiva, Kutrapi, Nechami, Atyuttamaha, Ralmakshana. We just did that. All these are constituted of two words, atra plus eva, kutra plus api, na plus ichchami, ati plus uttamaha, Rama Lakshmanau eva. Great. We observed this also. Note that the last letter of the first word and the first letter of the second words are joined to result in a different syllable. So euphonic sound syllable is another name. Such combinations of letters resulting in a new syllable are called sandhis. This is the important thing, in a new syllable, right? So the old syllables have been displaced with a new syllable. That is very critical. That some transformation should have taken place. For example, if there is a halanta takara and then there is an akara in the first letter of the next word, all you do is join the halanta takara with akara and make it a full ta. Instead of t, it will become ta. That is not a sandhi because there is no euphonic transformation. There is no new syllable. T joining a is natural ta. It's a simple samyukta akshara. So that is just samyoga. We call it that is just samyoga. There is a union, but there is no sandhi. There is no transformative union. So the union of the letters has to be transformative. What is transformation? Something that was there earlier became something else, okay, which we call adesha, or something new appeared in the place of sandhi. Something that was there before to the left and to the right remain, but something new appears. This also is there. This is called agama sandhis in Samskrita. So one general way of looking at sandhis is call it as adesha sandhi or agama sandhi, looking at whether some transformation happened or something new appeared, right? This kind of thing is there. All right. So again, just leave that. Note that the last letter of first word and the first letter of the second word are joined to result in a different syllable. Such combinations of letters resulting in a new syllable are called sandhis. Okay, one more thing I want to say. Maybe they will say themselves, but anyway, I will talk about it because come to my mind. Don't take it that sandhis occur only between two words. Okay, sandhis are so innately built into Sanskritam that words themselves have lots of sandhi inside them. In fact, what is a word? Word is a combination of phonemes or aksharas. When you are forming a word, when aksharas are being, construed together, how these aksharas came to be? Some aksharas came from the pratipadika or the dhatu. Some aksharas come from the pratyaya. Okay, and sometimes samasa padas, which are actually compound words, they also have two different player words participating to generate a new full combined word. So many places the sandhi opportunities come. So between prakriti and pratyaya, between dhatu and pratyaya, between pratipadikas in a samasa, okay, and then between upasargas and dhatus. Like this, there are tons of places where you join. Tons, I'm just using in a generic sense. Okay, so it's possible to make sandhis everywhere, and generally at a beginner level, like for us, our attempt will be between words because we don't want to go into the vyutpatti of the word, which is a very deep end of grammar of a language like Samskritam, which is highly scientific. So we don't go that deep. We just accept this aham, katuvachana, all those things as is, and look at things between them. Okay? All right. Any questions? Is this unclear to anyone?
Sir,
Kanchana.
please, yeah, please bring the Adesha and Agama.
I think I just got a little bit of what you wanted to ask. What is the difference between Adesha and Agama, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mute yourself kindly, a lot of noise coming. So, Adesha, as the name says, is giving a ruling over another, right? One ruling another is Adesha. Like, I tell you, Bagini, do this. I'm giving you Adesha. You're doing something and I'm changing your whatever you're doing, asking you to do something else. So, in the same sense, a new letter comes in and displaces the existing letter. Okay, or some combined letter comes in place of two earlier letters. These are called adeshas. Okay. One, if it replaces only one side of the letter, that is left side letter only, then it's ekadesha. If it replaces both the letters, it is called purnadesha, something like that. I mean, it replaces both participants type of thing. Okay, that is adesha. Then agama is the old parties are remaining. The two guys who are joining remain. To make it convenient to pronounce them together, somebody new jumps in between. Okay, so there are agama sandhis like namudagama, numagama, sudagama. You will very little bit advanced level. These agamas. Okay, so. Don't try to understand in Kannada or something. These are all extremely Sanskrit technical words. Namut is a Paninian term. Sut is a Paninian term. Okay. So that's why Sut Agama, Sudagama. The name of the Sandhi itself has a Sandhi. Takara going with a Dakara translation, right? Takara changes to Dakara. That is all due to Sandhis only. The names slightly soften up, but it is Namut, Sut, agamas, and similarly there are few other agamas.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so madam, Satti sir, it is like raining at your place or something. We hear nothing. My God. I am sorry, I am unable to hear much other than some kind of swinging wind noise.
Is it okay now?
Please ask.
Okay, I think it's a fan sound.
What is the question,
fan
sir?
sound. I was just wanting to know this Atyuttamaha, is it a Visheshanam for Karyakramaha?
See, Varia, my focus to explain that because we are learning Visheshana Visheshya, I brought in that fact. But the intent of the sentence here is to show Ati Uttamaha becomes Atyuttamaha. Yes, Atyuttamaha is a Visheshana to the Visheshya, which is Karyakrama. And Karyakrama also has another.
I understand this thing, but just because it happens to me, this thing I just asked you. It may be out of the thing. But
No. You are not out of context. I know I was explaining it. That's why you asked the question. If you had heard me right at that time, I was telling you Karyakrama is the Visheshya and Atyuttama is a Visheshana. Okay. Adyatana is also Visheshana to Karyakrama. Today's function. Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay. Now a little bit more detail they have given, and I also brought in some nice chart to talk about it. Let's see the chart later. Just focus on what Samskrita Bharati has to teach us. The letters are divided into two types, vowels and consonants. I don't know the pronunciation accurately, what the original British pronunciation is, but this is good for us. Vowels and consonants. The combination of vowels is called Swara Sandhihi, and the combination of a vowel and a consonant, or a consonant and another consonant. See, a vowel and a consonant can participate, or two consonants. As long as one consonant minimum is a participant in the transformation, in a combination, then it is Vyanjana Sandhihi. Vyanjana Sandhihi. So Swara is vowel, Vyanjana is consonant. So our names are extremely simple. Nobody is trying to call it Rama Sandhi, Sita Sandhi, nothing like that. So Swara Sandhi, Vyanjana Sandhi. If you know what is Swara, Vyanjana, there is no confusion in your head. The names, I have not found grammar names so scientific. Like, look at English, euphonic, poophonic, goophonic, like that. They use some Latin terms which is not even part of the English language, and we struggle with them. Nothing like that here. Okay, a combination where Visarga is involved is called Visarga Sandhi. So he stands apart. This Visarga Sandhi, he stands apart. Okay, because Visarga is involved. So you ask her, hey, doesn't it belong to Swara? Because right from my why even nursery? Right from my grandmother's lap, I learned it as aha, because your mother wouldn't have taught you. Most of people here, mothers would have taught them. Many youngsters who are by chance lurking here in this class, your grandmother would have taught you aha along with the series I, E, like this. But if you remember, you see this two and aha in Sanskritam only as a addendum to the swara, right? There is no bindu without an akara or an ikara or a ukara also being there. Okay, so there can be an im, there is no it is there only as a vyanjana ma, halantama. That is a different one than the anuswara bindu. Same way, the visarga doesn't have a life of its own. Visarga is a subservient, you can call it a half swara, half vyanjana mentally, subservient to the swara that it follows, like ihi here, swara sandhihi. Okay, so it has many pronunciations. At least in South India, we go aha, ihi, uhu, like that. Somebody has made a song of that also, if I remember. Aha, aha, like that. Okay, anyway, so it is a special letter in Sanskritam, Visarga. Anuswara and Visarga, they are special letter. In fact, they are called Ayogavaha. The name for these letters are called Ayogavaha because they don't have yoga in the normal list. Okay? That doesn't mean they have no utility. They have great utility. They just happen to have no direct belonging in the normal list. So the Ayogavaha. There is in the Ayogavaha, in addition to Anuswara and Visarga, there are two more Ardha Visarga variants called Jihva Muliya and Upadmaniya. Don't worry too much about it. There are two Ardha Visargas that have special purpose presence in the presence of certain letters that follow. Okay. A combination where a visarga is involved is called visarga sandhi. So they didn't specify a visarga is involved with what else. Obviously, with a non-visarga like a swara or a vyanjana is to be assumed. In this way, euphonic combinations are of the three types. Swara sandhi, vyanjana sandhi, visarga sandhi. Okay. So there are three major types. Believe me, there are tons of subtypes under each, but three major categories: Swara Sandhi, Vyanjana Sandhi, Visarga Sandhi. So if you go to Paninian grammar thing, you will see in the explanation books that follow. Like for example, Lagu Siddhanta Kaumudi. That will have Swara Sandhi Prakaranam, Vyanjana Sandhi Prakaranam, Visarga Sandhi Prakaranam, like that, and list the sutras applicable to that Prakarana and go on and explain it nicely. Prakarana Granthas, we call them. Okay. It was said earlier that when a vowel at the end of a word joins with another vowel at the beginning of the succeeding word, resulting in a new letter, it is called Swara Sandhi. This is at the word level. Believe me, this can extend to inside a word also, to parts of the word. So you can read it as end of a word or part of a word, like that. Huh? Part of a word will cover dhatu, pratipadika, pratyaya, upasarga, anything like that. It will get covered nicely in addition to two whole words. Let us study the examples given above from this angle. So now they are trying to show you this little bit. It's not again to teach any particular sandhi. They're showing you how to break the word up. Kutra api becomes kutra plus api. Then kutru halanta, take out the swara akara. So this is the purva padasya antimaksharaha अथवा अंतिम स्वरः अपि अक्षरः अपि स्वरः अपि तत् so akar. Then api has the standing out to show that it's a participant p. So kutru and p are undisturbed. And a combine. And a combined to make a. So kutrapi appears. A was not there earlier. Two akaras were there and something new. So a is an adesha. So in this case, this also called dirgha sandhi. This is a adesha sandhi. It is also a purnadesha or dvyadesha. I mean, dvayanam adesha, some dvyadesha, some construction like that is there. Anyway, purnadesha is easier to use in my mind. Samskritam allows you to use some compatible scientific names without frowning upon it. So I can call it Purnadesha because it replaces both. It is not Purvadesha, it is not Paradesha, it is Purnadesha. Nice name. Okay, Nechami, na plus ichami, n plus a plus I plus chami. So n and chami remain, a plus I becomes a. So again, this is a Purnadesha. Replaces the a and the I. Both disappear in the final. So Nechami appears. Okay. Even the akara and the ikara both are spent. And in their place, a akara is taken in. Okay. Now you look at this visual. Right. So this is Sandhihi. Ach is a, unfortunately, I don't know why. Sometime I may have borrowed this from somewhere and done some edit. I don't know, but I borrowed it from some other Sanskrit lesson. Somebody has taught, maybe from Yoma Labs. I don't know. So actually read it as Swara Sandhihi. So Swara Sandhihi, Vyanjana Sandhihi, Visarga Sandhihi. Ach is the Paninian term. In fact, if it was in the same tone, this should have been Hal Sandhihi. Because Paninian term for Vyanjana is Hal. Just as he calls Swaras Ach, he calls Vyanjana as Hal. And from Maheshwara Sutras, those things come. You guys got a little taste of that earlier. So then Visarga Sandhihi. Then Swara Sandhi, this chart has Swara Sandhi variants sitting around it. So it starts with, for example, this Dirgha Sandhihi. In fact, they also call it Savarna Dirgha Sandhihi. Two names are used for this. Dirgha Sandhihi, Savarna Dirgha Sandhihi. And then, you can go around and see Prakriti Bhavaha, Guna Sandhihi, Yand Sandhihi, Ayadi Sandhihi, Vriddhi Sandhihi, Pararupa Sandhihi, Purvarupa Sandhihi. Maybe one or two are missed also in this. But don't think that they are in any particular order. Okay, the order I will show you in another chart, the order in which we learn them, and it actually follows the order of the letters also. Okay, it's easier to go that way. Then Hal Sandhi. Okay, this see, Vyanjana Sandhi is called Hal Sandhi in grammar world. So this chart is like a mixture. So Jashtva Sandhi, Shtutva Sandhi, Shtutva Sandhi, Anuswara Sandhi, Chatva Sandhi. This is a small list, small list. There are lot many more Hal Sandhis, and also there is nothing here for Swara Sandhi. There are actually 4-5 types of Visarga Sandhi, I should say. There is nothing in this picture for Visarga Sandhi. There are 4-5 types of Visarga Sandhis also that have to be discussed. ठीक है. Any question? If you didn't understand something, Chandrakala ji, Manasi, are unmute, mute.
Sir,
हाँ,
sir, Sandhi is generally, I mean, correct me if I'm not telling you properly. It is combination of two meaningful words to make another meaningful word.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I don't know where the meaning and all come into picture. The Sandhi,
No, in Kutra
Sandhi
and
is between.
Appi.
See. Don't overextend. The Sandhi is between letters. Sandhi is between letters. So what does A and A know about Kutru and P? They don't know anything. So A and A combine to make A. So Sandhi need not be between so-called meaningful and all that. Obviously, Bhagini, everything when we put in a sentence is meaningful only. There is nothing meaningless, right? How can you bring into Lakshana Vakya saying meaningful? Everything is meaningful in language if it is accurate, right?
Okay.
But we don't do Sandhi for fun. So we don't pick one word from one sentence and another word from the third sentence following that and make Sandhi between them. So they have to
not
be in
that
neighborhood.
aspect, sir. Okay. No. When the word Kutra Api is given, we split it into Kutra and Api. Saying it is the Sandhi of these two words which makes the new word Kutra Api.
Correct.
Isn't it? That is correct. No, sir.
But see, what is happening is I'm trying to bring the highlight of when a sentence has been constructed nicely, the words next to each other have some relationship reason for belonging next to each other, generally. Correct?
Correct.
Do you agree with me? So that is
Yes.
coincidental because they belong in a sentence like that. But the Sandhi itself has no play there. Sandhi is simply action between two letters that are next to each other.
Okay.
How to explain? The coupling between two bogies is not aware of the engine. That's what I want to say. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. So basically the two vowels or the vowel consonant or two consonants which combine, that is Sandhi. Nothing to do with the actual
meaningful
word.
and sentence and words and all are conveniences we use. Okay. Like I told you, actually it happens between dhatu and pratyaya. You cannot call either of them a word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Let us take what is written here, use that simplicity for your exam purposes, but I'm explaining you there is a larger picture, that's all. Okay? Not trying to overload you, but looks like I might be doing that. I'm sorry. Okay,
sir.
let's move forward. So a few more examples are there. Atyuttamam, Ati Uttamam, At Iu Tamam. So Iu became U. Okay, now you see here, I want to bring your attention as to what has happened. E and U became U, but the U has remained. U is actually Y plus U. What really happened? Ikara got replaced with Yakara. Okay, a Swara got replaced with a Vyanjana Ya. In fact, Yakara, which belongs to the Avargiya Vyanjana, Ya, Ra, La, Va, Sha, Sha, Sa, that one is actually belongs in the Avargiya because they have, some of them have half swaras, especially Yava, Rala. In Maheshwara Sutra, they appear right next to the swara list. That's why. If you remember, I won Rulrok, Eouch, Haya, Varat. So see, Haya, all of them appear right there below the swaras before the other Vyanjanas are attacked in the formula. That is because they have actually properties which we call reverse swaras. Okay. So because they sound like reverse swaras, they're also, you can say they have swara properties in them. So in this Sandhi, Ikara has chosen to transform itself to a yakara, halanta yakara. Ukara remains, together they form U. So this guy is not a Purna Desha. Of course, as you, it is a Purna Desha. But as Y, which is the only Adesha there, U is not an Adesha. Y is a Ekadesha for Ikara. Purva Desha, Ekadesha. Purvasya Aksharasya Eva Adesha Yakara. Ha. Ramalakshmanaviva. Ramalakshmanau iva. Au plus E. They have separated the others. Au plus E, Avi. So again, Ikara has remained at the end of Avi. So what has come? Av has come. So the euphonics Adesha is Av in place of Au. So Au became transformed in pronunciation as Av. With a Vakara, a little bit of that teeth touching the tongue sound. Okay? Au doesn't have anything like that. Au only has puckering of lips. Av has a teeth touching the tongue. Right? Notice the color change happening. Aviva. Auiva. Auiva. If you try to pronounce, it is very energetic. It's not very cool to make auiva. So aviva. Ah, low energy. Beautiful. Okay, sandhis are very useful for pronunciation. In all these 4 examples, the change occurs due to the combination of 2 vowels. They are examples of swara sandhis. So swara sandhi list: savarna dirgha sandhi, guna sandhi, vriddhi sandhi, yan sandhi, yantavanta desha sandhi, purva rupa sandhi. So generally they will going to address it in this order. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the order they would desire to address it to you. Detailed explanation of this will be given in the following lesson. So luckily in this first pata, there is no focus on explaining this yet. Okay? So there is a lovely book for those who are interested in more detail other than, of course, you don't need this book because already what is there in our textbook is sufficient. But this is a very small booklet, very, very affordable, $25, $40, something like that, from Samskrita Bharati available. Okay.
Sir?
Yes, Bhagini.
Sir, in that earlier chart, I think there were 8 types. So
No,
we are going to
I
cover
told you, I
only
mean,
6.
either is not complete. Say a Purva Rupa Sandhi is there, but there is no Prakriti Bhava listed. I mean, yes, it is not completely, both are probably not complete.
Okay, so we will have only these 6 for this exam.
Huh. See, if you see this Mahabaleshwara Bhattas Varya's book. Okay. Sandayaha, Swara Sandhihi, Vyanjana Sandhihi, Visarga Sandhihi. But he gives primary importance to Prakriti Bhava Sandhi and Swadi Sandhi as separate from Swara Sandhi. So there is some kind of contention, bone of contention amongst the grammarians. Should we list it under Swara or really treat it as separate? Because it seems to happen after the Swara Sandhi has been taken. Some exception is taken under Prakriti Bhava and all that. Similarly, maybe Swadi is also a post variant. That's why you see he classifies the Sandhis as 5 way. Samskrita Bharati has chosen not to complicate your life and given the 3 primary ones: Swara, Vyanjana, Visarga. Enough.
Okay.
So,
thank you, sir.
Usually, Bhagini, we tend to approach with subsets. Doesn't mean that is the whole. Okay? That much.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So one question.
Yes.
So in this instance, O plus E equal to RV, this formula will always be constant?
Yes. Unless some exception rules are taught later.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. There may be some optional exceptions where, some elisions can happen. There are sometimes like a train of events set and first step we do AVI, then we say, oh, under this condition, like we do some. But for AVI, I think it is AVI regularly with a O and there are some exceptions. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Prakriti Bhava steps in. Okay. Anyway, we'll not worry about.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. This is again a out of syllabus chart, but it is so beautiful because when this chart was taught to me by my Guru Varya, things became very clear to me. So I said, this is a gem. So again, our Tilak Rao Guru Varya, who has made this chart. And this is very, very scientific for us because see what he has done is he has listed the tail letter of the first word in the first column. See, A, I, U, R, L, A, O, I, O. So here these are Paninian So this represents Hrsva Akara, Dirgha Akara, and also Pluta and all the other variants which we don't need to go into. As far as normal spoken Sanskritam, we use Hrsva Akara. Hrsva, I say Harasva maybe. Correct pronunciation should be Harasva. I tend to make Hrsva because that's how I learned in childhood. It's a mistake. Actually, I should pronounce it as Harasva. Harasva Akara and Dirgha Akara both are represented by this Similarly for E, Harasva Dirgha, Harasva Dirgha, Harasva Dirgha. This one is only having Harasva. Dirgha is not there. Okay. Then A is always Dirgha, O is always Dirgha, I is always Dirgha, O is always Dirgha. So some of them represent more than just what you see. That much you take it. Okay. Now the same way, the first row is giving the list, table list is giving the first letter of the second word. Okay, or second part of the word, whatever. If it's Prakriti Patya, it's part of a word. Anyway, so the first letter of the second word. This is the last letter of the first word, first letter of the second word. When these two collide, okay, what is generated is there inside this table. Okay, nicely colored, colored to show the patterns. See how scientific? Do you see the color patterns? They are so scientific, right? So the first row is special. Okay, that means whenever an akaranta word is there and that is attached to a swara beginning second word, what all happens? So, okay. So first is the diagonal. The diagonal is called Dirgha Sandhi because the diagonals are what? Diagonals are when same letter collides with itself, right? A plus A, E plus E, U plus U. So all these diagonals, of course, there is something larger happening here because in a Dirgha Sandhi, Rikara and Lkara, they are behaving to collide into a Dirgha only. But you see the result, all of them, A, E, U, R, R. So all of these are Dirgha letters. Okay. These green diagonals, these many. L is not there in Swamanya Bhasha. So you can also make this chart deleting the L column if you wish. Then it will become A, E, U, R. That's all. Okay. So these are the result. This is the Purna Desha. Savarna Dirgha Sandhi is a Purna Desha replacing those. So that finishes off Savarna Dirgha Sandhi. Then the yellow ones talk about Guna Sandhi. Then the pink ones, or whatever you call it, skin colored ones, they talk about Vriddhi Sandhis. Then this blue segment here, other than the diagonals, which are already spoken for, other than the diagonals, the rest, this is the Yan Sandhi. Okay. Then this light orange, maybe Chinese skin color. Sorry. Okay. So that one is Yanta Desha, Vanta Desha set. In that, wherever you see Ya, it is Yanta Desha. Where you see Va, it is Vanta Desha. So Yanta, Vanta. And then Yanta, Vanta again. But this is Hrasva Akara, this is Dirgha Akara. So I, Av, Av. So it's called Ayadi Sandhi for a good reason. It starts, the replacements start with I and goes up to Av. But consistently them, taka, 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 whole band. That is the gray, that is the this light yellow colored set. Then there is a gray border I have thrown. So this gray border you see here. So that's what some Varya was asking, right? Is that it? No. See, Yakara, Vakara, Lopa is there. So there is an additional Yadi Purvaksharaha Padante Bhavati, then Yakara, Vakara, Lopaha Kartum Shaknumaha. Iti. Not that way, not such a simple way. Panini would have said with more technical words, something like that. So that new Sandhi will act after the Yanta Desha, Vanta Desha. Exceptions can happen to delete or elide the Yakara. So that is why that gray circle is there. Then there is a blue circle here, right? If you come here, Purva Rupa Sandhi overwrites the Yanta Desha, Vanta Desha here for these cases. When there is a or a O as the previous participants and A in the next word. Very narrow override, not for every column, only for that column. So, yadi purvaksharaha padante bhavati tarhi A and then avagraha, o avagraha. The akara can be elided, but for writing purpose, you can show an avagraha. It in pronunciation is elided. Okay, elided means it is skipped over. It is there, it is skipped over for pronunciation. To show that it is skipped over, but it is there, we use the avagraha chinha. Okay, like this. But you see, with this kind of brilliant visualization, it becomes like a game, because this picture is now mentally, you can keep it in your head, right? There's no confusion. But you have to notice one careful thing. See here, a, I, u, r, l, a. How do we practice? A, I, O, O, right? This is different. A, O, I, O, because the properties of these two have certain collision. That's why that has been ordered like that, to conveniently collect that way. Okay.
Sir,
Here,
I did not understand
it helps here. You see, if A and O have some common rule, see, that's why this Purvarupa Sandhi combines the AO rows. So that's why AO rows, AO columns, not AI rows. Otherwise, you have to put blues at two separate places and looks little. The scientific order is this. In fact, if you go to Maheshwara Sutra, it is Aong, I, Ouch, Maheshwara order. Yes, Bhagini, what is the question?
Sir, I did not understand Padante. What does Padante mean?
Padante means at the end of a pada.
Okay.
When there is an actual full word to the left and this letter is at the end of that word, then this sandhi can happen. It cannot happen inside a pada. Internal sandhi, we can use the word internal sandhis. So this is not allowed for internal sandhis. It is only allowed for external sandhis, which means between two padas.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so this chart will come again and again and again. So you will get a lot of chance to internalize this. Don't worry, because I love this chart so much. I use this everywhere. I should send him some thank you note, but he will appreciate.
So one more question. For all the sandhis which are resulting with a halant at the end, these will become yuktakhar inside the word. For example, va halant. How does that work inside?
You're right. See, this one, this blue one is not a Purna Desha. It is a Purva Desha. Okay? Later, actually, I should probably add that here. Purna Desha, Eka Desha, Purva Desha, all those. If I add that title, then you will understand. The Vakara is only replacing U. Remains. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Eka Desha.
Okay, sir.
How it will remain, how we will pronounce it, let's not get there. Okay?
Right, sir. Right. Okay, sir. Thank you.
For L, it is difficult. Something like that. But for R, it will be vr. Here, ve. Here, wo. Here, y. Here, wow. That has not been said because they are all there in the column already. But the best way to do it is put under this Purvadeshaha ends. So Purvadeshaha, whatever is there in blue box is a Purvadesha. Replaces the U with V. Okay? That's why it is V consistently. You may wonder how at all is this possible when the word gets smashed. It won't get smashed because only U is getting replaced with V, which is so close already to pronounce of U. Then A comes. So instead of Ue, it will be Ve. So nice. Uve will become Ve. Uvo will become Vo. Okay?
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Nice questions. See? Very thoughtful questions. Somebody is analyzing how this happens. Okay. Same thing with this Ayadesha, Avadesha. Okay? Here also, it is clear that this is a Purvadesha. A gets replaced with I, combines with the O, Ayo will come out. I plus O, Ayo will come out in this place. Ayai, I correct. Ayai will come out here. Ayau will come out here. So it is possible to make a Purnadesha version of this by showing all that, but enough to put Purnadesha, Purvadesha here in this title. So Sangrahya Vishayaha. Famous pairs. So here in the last segment, they want to teach us some nice common concepts. Okay, so here actually till now it was pure language. Of course, we are following Mahabharata story, Ramayana story. You cannot take a language out of the culture nor the culture out of the language. I mean, they're bound like that. I don't know whether I'm saying the right things in English for that, but anyway, don't quote me on that. But they are married, like so. There is a lot of description here that are very specific to our Sanatani culture. So for those who don't belong to that, just take it as a list to be familiar. That's all. Okay. So Sangrahya Vishayaha, collectible items. Famous pairs. Ratrihi Diva, night, day. Swargaha Narakaha, heaven, hell. Punyam Papam, good score, bad score. I don't know how to translate it. This is not your cricket score, by the way. This is more important. Anyway, Sukham, Dukkam, happiness, sadness. They are actually, in our philosophy, there are two faces of Dukkha only. Okay? Sukha is considered as Dukkha. By the way, guys, extremely significant. They don't consider them as different. They ask us to stay in the hyphen region. Okay? They ask us to, Sama Dukkha Sukha, something like that is there in Bhagavad Gita, if you remember. Anyway, Dharmaha, Adharmaha. So here you have to stay on the left. Not everywhere you have to stay in the middle. Dharmaha, Adharmaha. So good action and way of being, bad action and way of being. Prakritihi Purushaha. Nature and the activator. Okay, so this one is a wonderful combination. We consider everything is there is a participative element and an activator combination to do to get things into action. Just this is waste. Just that will be fine, but without Purusha there is no action. It will be passive. That's all. Okay, that's Jnanam Ajnanam. Don't confuse this Purusha with masculine and all that. Because the word masculine, male, maybe masculine is slightly more fitting than male. It's not a male. It's probably the masculine aspect. Okay, the activation aspect, they call it. Anyway, Jnanam, but finally this Prakriti Purusha in the Srishti world is the universe, material universe, and the activation element is the God element, we can call it. The Paramatma element. Or in the individual, it can be the body and the soul, closest word in English. Okay? Jnanam, Ajnanam. Or in your mobile phone, this can be the hardware and the battery or the software. Anyway, Jnanam, Ajnanam. So knowledge, lack of knowledge. Okay. Famous trios, Lokatrayam, Swargaha, Martyaha, Patalaha. So this is actually the simplification. There are seven levels of each and all that, other than Bhuloka. So that will not worry. Swargaha, Martyaha, Patalaha. So you see this Swarga, we are familiar. Okay, heaven. Patala, we are familiar, the nether world. Okay, but this Martya is a very interesting name for Bhuloka. One cannot be so much more naked in explaining it than the Sanskrit terms for this. Where is Martya derived from? Mrutyuloka. So this Bhuloka is called Mrutyuloka, by the way, guys. We are all in Mrutyuloka, neither in Swarga nor in Patala. That means death is the only certainty here. Prasthanatrayam. Okay, Prasthanatrayam. Upanishad, Brahma Sutrani, Bhagavad Gita. Why this is called Prasthanatrayam is because if somebody has to give an interpretation of the Sanatanic Dharma principles, then it is critical that those who wish to argue their viewpoint have to have knowledge to analyze certain critical Upanishads, the 11 Upanishads, then the very, very difficult sutra text called Brahma Sutra, okay, which is supposed to be embodying the essence of Upanishadic teachings. Okay, the Jnana Kanda's sutra version is supposed to be Brahma Sutra. Okay, and then Bhagavad Gita, which is the simpler, more accessible philosophy text of what is also taught in the Upanishads. Okay, So they're all Vedic. Upanishad is directly Vedic, and these two are, this is about the Vedic text, and this is deriving knowledge from the Vedic text. Brahma Sutra is not for simple, I mean, we will find it like a very difficult nut to crack, but this is like a peanut, easy version. Okay. And that one may be more like the kernel, or what you call the cashew nut. Okay. Triveni, just like cashew nut is very difficult. You cannot eat a cashew nut from the tree, right? Brahma Sutras try to show you the process, but when Bhagavad Gita makes it a readily processed fried nut for us to eat. So that is the progress, I think. Okay. Triveni, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. So this Veni means actually the plate of a human hair. That's also called Veni, or it's more like a thread. Three threads. That's the set. So we believe that where Ganga and Yamuna combine, Saraswati also is an Antargami river that combines. Okay. Originally it used to exist, but anyway, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. So Antargami. This Triveni principle extends to all Sangamas in our minds. People believe, for example, even if you go to Mysore, near Mysore, you will see union of Kapila and Kaveri. But people believe this Triveni, this is a Triveni Sangama. Again, they assume a Saraswati element in it. Okay, this is brilliant because actually there is a river flowing underground everywhere. It is having, you know, that's why when we dig bore wells, we get water. So nothing completely accurate. Trivarga Purushartaha, Dharmaha, Arthaha, Kamaha. The ultimate one is Moksha, which is apart from these three. So Trivarga Purushartha is the first three: Dharma, Artha, Kama for Sharirik life. For Asharirik life, you need Moksha. Doshatrayam, Vataha, Pittam, Kapaha. We should not say Fa, Kapaha, Mahaprana, Kapaha, like that. Okay. So this is a Ayurvedic concept, as you know. Okay. About the three elements that constitute the life force inside us, and the balance of these three in our body is supposed to keep us healthy. If there is any increase or decrease in any of these three, they're all there. All of us have Vata, Pitta, Kapha, but if any of them is in the imbalance portion, then only you have a Roga. That's the concept of Ayurveda. Anyway, that's dosha. So Vata, it's not a dosha, but Vata dosha is a dosha. Okay? When there is an imbalance of Vata, then there is a dosha. Vata itself is an essential element as Pitta and Kapha. Okay. All right. Tripitakani. Okay. Sutra Pitakam, Vinaya Pitakam, Abhidharma Pitakam. So this one, I believe, must be Bauddhic terms, Pitakam. Okay. So maybe in Buddhic Buddha lineage, their text, no, to explain their dharma uses these levels: Sutra Pitakam, Vinaya Pitakam, Abhidharma Pitakam. In fact, they wouldn't even use Sanskrit names like Abhidharma. They will use a little bit Prakrit or Pali variant, Abhidhamma Pitaka, something like that. Abhidhamma. Dharma is Dhamma for them. Anyway. Trimurtayaha, our three great lords: Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwaraha. See, Brahma. So this one is, this is not Brahma. Okay, this is Brahma. So slightly different. Pullinga Chaturmukha Brahma. Okay, this is Vishnu, Maheshwaraha. Then Ratnatrayam. Okay, Samyak Jnanam, Samyak Charityam, Samyak Darshanam. I can understand what they are, but I don't know where they come from. So proper knowledge, proper history, that means the way of how you have carried yourself till now, and Samyak Darshanam, the way forward, how you see. Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful. Ratnatrayam, Samyak Jnanam, Samyak Charityam, Samyak Darshanam. I like this last one. Okay, that's why Darshana Shastras are called Darshana Shastras, because they show us the way. Shakti Trayam. Jnana Shakti, Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti. Strength of knowledge, the strength of wanting to do things and the actual strength of action. Very nice. I don't know where all these concepts come, but anyway, they are nice things to learn. Then tradition also teaches us one verse. Yat tvagasti. Sorry, this is a Panchagavya. Is a process of antar shuddhi that is done on a particular day by some sects, of course, within the Sanatana Dharma annually, as part of the when you change the Janayu that time, right? Yat tvagastigatam papam dehe tishtati mamake prashanam panchagavyasya dahatyagnire agnirivendhanam yat tvak asti gatam papam. The tvak is skin, asti means the skeletal aspect, okay? Gatam means that which has gone. So whatever bad karma, papa, which is standing in the body, mama, mama, okay? So, standing in the body, either on my skin or in my bones, I mean, in my interiors, almost that sense. Prashanam panchagavyasya, by eating of the Panchagavya, name itself explains. Made a combination made with the 5 products of the cow. Okay? So Panchagavya, Prashanam Panchagavya say Dahati burns Agnihi iva indhanam. It burns the papa the same way that fire indhana burns the burns or the Agni fire burns the indhana. Indhana means fuel. So the same way that Agni burns the fuel, this Panchagavya will burn the papa, which is standing in our body. Tvagasti gatam, you can take a larger interpretation as skin related afflictions and bone related afflictions, but one doesn't have to go that far. Prashanam means taking in. Okay, ashanam is is upasarga, ashanam means to eat. So prashanam, the eating. Taking Panchagavyam is going to burn the sin accumulated in the skin and bones of my body, just like fire burning a fuel. Yes, Varya.
Sir, mamake, what is, how do you
mamake dehe, mama dehe.
Mama.
See, mamakam is yat mama asti tad mamakam. Okay? That which is mine is mamakam. I don't know if it's mamakam or mamakaha, but let's take mamakam for now. Okay? So that which is mine is mamakam. Mamake in that which is mine, and as visheshana to dehe. So finally what it is, mama dehe, in my body. Okay?
Sir, where to use Upanishad and where Upanishad?
Very good question. You will learn later that this halanta takaras generally soften to halanta dakaras in a sandhi called Jashtva sandhi. Okay, one of the very first important visarga, Vyanjana sandhi is Jashtva sandhi. The Jashtva sandhi's role is to soften the harsh letters. Okay, so they take the first column letters and bring them to third column letters of the Vargiya Vyanjana. Ta goes to the, ka goes to ga, like that. Okay, so the you will see sometimes when we write them independently, it is kind of okay to show it as a halanta takara, as a halanta dakara, because both forms will occur in practice in the combined world. Okay? Why halanta takara will be, but the native one is halanta takara, by the way. It starts out as halanta takara and transforms to halanta dakara to soften, to help the cause of the word. The letter that follows will force that softening. Okay?
Sir?
Same way, Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Bhagavat Gita, Bhagavad Gita. See, Jashtva Sandhi is there. Mahodaya is very correct. The halanta takara changed to dakara there as an example. Beautiful, right there. Yes, Bhagini.
Sir, Prasthanatrayam. The Prasthan actually means going somewhere.
Very good. See, going somewhere means establishing your own way.
Okay.
Right? If you want to Bhagini, Shobana Godbale Bhagini. So let us say from tomorrow you want to bring in Shobana Ashrama. Then you have to do all this before we'll call you Swami, Swamini, and come and surrender.
Okay. Okay.
Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, many other acharyas have done this. That's not just traveled, they actually wrote the bhashyas for all this. Yeah. That means they were very knowledgeable in all the Vedic texts and all that.
Thank you.
So with that, we will call the break now, 12:10. So,
sir, one more thing. Dahati Agnihi Iva Indhanam. What will it
correct. Dahati Agnihi Iva Indhanam.
be?
Correct.
Okay.
Just now they taught us a few examples, but over time we will know what the name of the split we are doing is. But we are doing Vicheda. Dahati Agnihi Repa Iva Indhanam. Some are Swara Sandhi, some are Visarga Sandhi, some are... We don't need to worry now. Okay, just get the flavor. Just kind of like how to drive. You cannot explain, but you drive like that. Let us take it like cycle riding. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we'll take a break. Sorry, it's very late. I have taken 10 minutes later than I should have. But let's take a short break and come back and finish off the lesson 1 by doing the Q&A. Okay, what you see on the screen. So 12:11. So 12:14 we gather back. Thank you. Water break. Okay, welcome back. So we have this few questions to answer before we can conclude the first lesson. So hopefully, you guys can recall now. So let me invite people to help me here. Kunhi Kannan, AK Kun Kannan Varya.
Okay, sir.
So translation exercise, just you do your best. Don't worry, I'll help you translate the following sentences. There are many thorns on the way.
On the way means marge.
Correct. You got it. I like your approach also. Take a phrase and bring it into Samskritam. Correct. And then?
Many, bahuni.
Bahuni. Correct. Or you can take many in the sense of plurality, but because many is in addition to thorns, yes, bahuni. Correct.
Bahuni. Marge, bahuni. Thorns. Thorns means, what is the Sanskrit word for thorns?
Kantaka. Kantakam.
Kandagani.
Kantakani. Very good. Bahuni Kantakani marge there are. Has to be still translated.
There are. Sandhi.
Santi. Wonderful. Wonderful. Mahodaya gets 100. Okay. So marge bahuni Kantakani Santi is probably fine. Okay. Many is so kanichana. Some. I took many to mean some. But Kantakani Santi, you got that right. So Bahuni Kantakani Santi is also full marks. Kanichana Kantakani Santi is also full marks because many can be interpreted in both ways. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Excellent work. So let us invite Malati. Malati
Anekani.
Anekani is also fine. Correct.
Yes,
Anekani, Bahuni, Kanichana, all are fine. Malati Varye. Sorry, wait, just I will mute Kannan Varya. Yeah, Malati Varya. The helpless poor make a living with difficulty.
Okay. Poor is nirdhanaha.
Very good. Nirdhanaha.
Helpless is asahayakaha.
Asahayakaha nirdhanaha. Very good.
Difficulty will be kashtena.
Kashtena, correct. Vibhakti is beautiful. With difficulty, kashtena, correct.
Living is jivanti.
Plural, because poor we actually translate to many poor. So
it will
jivanti.
be asahayakaha nirdhanaha kashtena jivanti.
I wouldn't have 110. I will have to give you out of 100. But anyway, Asahayakaha, nissahayaka. They are you can use ni upasarga also. So nirdanaha kashtena jivanti. Perfect. Thank you, Bhagini.
Thank you, sir.
So let us go down the list and invite Vijaya Mani. Vijaya Mani. Vijaya Mani Varye. You are able to unmute and participate. Okay, I think she has some difficulty. We will let her be. Usha Nagarajan Varye.
Sir, one question. You have written Nissahayaha. So Asahayaha would have also been okay, or is the word?
Yeah, Asahayaha is also okay. See, Sahayaha means those with help. Asahayaha means those without help. Right? It is a negation version. This ni is a upasarga yojana, in the sense one with very low help, something like that. Yeah. In mother tongues, you will notice this word, right? In Kannada, for example, we use nissahayaka like that any number of times. So asahayaka also we use. Both you can use. Whom did I call? Is the Bhagini ready?
Usha.
Yes, Usha Varye. Excellent.
Yeah.
Number 3 Varye.
Young men tarunaha
Going
on the road marge.
Going is also included.
Going on the road marge gachati.
Gachanti, plural.
Gachanti.
Because
Gachanti.
is it plural? No, it is not plural. Two young men. So
marge gachataha.
Gachataha. But what happens to Tarunaha?
Oh, Tarunau.
Tarunau. You got it corrected nicely. Tarunau marge gachataha. Now, how do you say well built? As best as we can bring some quality into this.
Drida.
Tarunau. Drida something?
Kaya.
Drida Kaya. Wonderful. You are from Karnataka, I think, right?
No, Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu,
Kerala.
but Kerala. Okay, that's why you got good repertoire of Sanskrit words. Very good. So, Dridakaya, but how do you make it Dvivachana?
Dridakayo.
Correct. Dridakayo. Vishwanath Varya doesn't want to let you answer, so we'll take his answer. So, but two, can you put two also in the sentence? Dvau. Pullinga, right? Dvau.
Yeah.
Dve is good thought, but dve is strilinga or napumsaka. So you have to go dvau. So dvau, dridakayau, tarunau, marge, gachataha. Well done. Okay. I don't know. My answer will be so good. So I did something else. Dvau, pushtau, yuvakau. I used all different except dvau. Marge, gachataha is common between us. Well done. See, so many ways to cut the ice in Sanskrit.
But is down
also okay?
Can I invite the lady who is trying to ask something to say something first?
Yeah, sir.
Is down necessary?
No. Dridakaya dvayam we cannot use.
Yeah. Very good. Bhagini has a solution. She has learned something ahead already, the Dvayam technique of singularity combination. That is Dridakaya Taruna Dvayam. You can put in one Samasta Bhagini if you want. Dridakaya Taruna Dvayam Gachati. Marge Gachati.
Okay.
Right. You could do that. Why not? Sanskritam allows that. Now, Sati Varya has always a challenge, right? Why Dvau? Samskrita has pushed out Yuvakau, all that already indicating Dvivachana. Why Dvau? But maybe the accent was there. Two necessarily is required in English because there is no other way to bring element two in English. Sanskritam, it is not needed. Completely agree with you. So Dvau you take out, pushtau yokau, marge gachataha is sufficient. But why don't you in the answer indicate I also know how to say two, Dvau. That's all. 110.
Can you repeat the statement of including Dridakaya Dvayam, na?
Dridakaya Dvayam, correct.
Dridakaya
Taruna Dvayam.
Dridakaya Taruna Dvayam.
It is not Dridakaya Vruddha Dvayam. Though that is a oxymoron.
Dvayam. Marge Gachat. Marge.
Okay, so let me mute all and move forward. Okay.
Sir,
Dinesh Shah, you have a question?
Anusha, I have a question.
Sorry. Yes, madam. What's the question?
When you are using Dridakaya Tarunadvayam, you will use Gachati?
Yes. Yes. So this Dvayam technique, or Dvayam Trayam, you can use Chatushtayam also. This technique makes them into a collective singular. Brilliant, right? It makes them into a collective singular. Okay. Bhrataradvayam, Pitrudvayam, like this you can go. Okay. If you want. Any two.
Mahodaya, we cannot say it as in English, no, two well-built young men is going on the road. We don't say that, no. So
English is English, Sanskrit is Sanskrit.
Okay.
So you can always say, Bhagini, you're not using all the power of English. A pair of two young men is going. A pair, singular.
Okay, yes, yes.
See, you should now go back and relearn your nursery books of English, which they have taught so much.
So the full sentence would be Dridakaya Tarunadvayam. Tarunau, will it still be Taruna?
No. Because when you make Dvayam, Tarunadvayam, then I added Dridakaya as a built-in Samasta Visheshana, Dridakaya Tarunadvayam as one word.
Okay. So Taruna is also
Otherwise you'll have to go Dridakayam Tarunadvayam. That is also okay. Dvayam is Napumsaka. You are taking two Dridakaya Tarunas and making Napumsaka singular. Very interesting. Samskrita. You should not go that far. Anyway, number 4. Let me invite Sharad Chavan Varye, who was unmuted so often. So let me invite her. Two tall trees are there in the garden. Sharad Varya, sorry.
Sir. Dau unnata vrikshaha vatika santi. Okay,
very good attempt. I laud your repertoire of words is accurate. So Dvau unnatau vrikshaha it won't be. It has to be two vrikshas. So how do you make vrikshaha into dvivachana? Vrikshau. See, Dvau unnatau vrikshau vatika. What did you say?
Vatika.
Vatikayam, in the garden, Saptami.
Vatikayam santi.
Santi? No, not Santi. Dvivachana.
Staha, right?
Staha. Asti staha santi. Okay. So Vatikayam vrikshau staha. So because I anticipated Sati Varya's challenge, I did not use all the rest. So tall I missed. There is I would get one portion of my mark ducked. So I should say tall also. So unnatau should be there in the answer. Vatikayam unnatau vrikshau staha. Okay.
So in this case also we can use dvayam factor.
Yeah. Everywhere you can use. Let us not go there. Okay. You guys stick to this dvivachana. Because the reason why Samskrita Bharati is asking to you well-built is not for you to use escape mechanism. Yeah. If you use escape mechanism, they will laugh and give you the marks, but they want you to practice dvivachana. Okay. Number 5. Now I will invite Dinesh Shavarya himself to answer. Recite 2 beautiful shlokas. No, don't recite 2 shlokas, Dinesh Varya. Or Dinesh Varya's wife, I think she's there on the line. So you translate this sentence. Are? Okay, I'll mute. She's not answering. Okay, Katyayani. She doesn't want to participate. Kanchana. Kanchana.
Yeah, yes, sir. Dvau,
Kanchana.
Dvau, Sundarau, Shlokau.
What is the tone of recite? You recite something like that, right?
Lot lakara.
Lot lakara. Wonderful, Bhagini. How would you make?
Vada.
Vada. Enough. Vada dhatu is enough. You don't need to do complicate your life with other dhatu. So vada dhatu is fine. So dvau, sundarau, shlokau, vada. Tvam is implicit in the way you use vada, because vada is madhyama purusha ekavachana. So tvam is implicit. If you wanted to use the reference bhavan or bhavati, then how would you change vada?
Vadatu.
Vadatu. Usha Bhagini helped out us. Please, guys, let the original person attempt. Okay? I'm sure out of the nearly 40 students I have here, many know the answer, but it will be nice to let the person that has been brought onto the stage to help complete the answer. Okay? You do the answer in your, you please don't try to unmute, try to help them. Okay, so Vadatu, well done. So for number 5, these all answers are possible using Bhagini's thing. Tvam Sundarau Shlokau Vada is what she chose. Tvam she didn't say, but that was part of the Vada itself. Or you can make it Yuyam Sundarau Shlokau Vadata Bahuvachana, because you is implicit in the recite order, so it can be taken in plural or singular. Or you can go to the impersonal or so-called Madhyama Purusha, switch to Prathama Purusha using Bhavan Bhavati technique. So Bhavan or Bhavantaha or Bhavati or Bhavatyaha. I missed out on that also. Bhavati or Bhavatyaha also can be there. So, but if it is Bhavan, it is Vadatu. If it is Bhavantaha or Bhavantyaha, it will be Vadantu. Okay, that's the. I think you guys covered the whole load. Yes, question.
Can we use Pata here instead of Vada? Because
what recite? You can use Patatu. You can use Patha in place of Vada. Pathata in place of this set, like that. Yes, you could. Not. It is not off. If you can't remember this Vada, if you ended up using Patha, recite has the sense of reading, which is Patha, no problem.
Excuse me, sir.
But it is recite is a little bit more like mouth it. Mouth it is there in recitation. So because mouth it is there, Vada is a more appropriate fit. Yes, another question.
We had Ganapata.
Singing or saying Gayatu.
Gayatu, yes. Gayatu. Yes.
Gayatu, can use it. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know Gayatu form. I have to check the Gi Dhatu. How does it go?
Okay.
It becomes a little tough with those rarer dhatus.
Okay.
We will have to check the dhatu pata and then I can come back. But yes, you can use that Gana, whatever is the dhatu form of it and its declensions in this place. Correct.
Sir, Kanichan means some, no?
Kanichana, not Kanichan. Kanichana means some. Yeah.
So here there are many they have written.
Bhaginis, many can be some.
Okay.
English is not, you can say some thorns are on the way. There are some thorns on the way sound exactly the same as there are many thorns on the way to me. It's not all thorns. There are some good things also along the way, right? In life.
Yeah.
It is about life, I think. Okay. So well done. So now what I will do, quickly call somebody. This is going to take time this way, but only for the first lesson I'm going to make increased participation. I have to lesson it later. Krishnan Varya.
Yes, sir.
Varya, this is the verse. Just read the verse first for me.
Chaya manyasya kurvanti tishtanti swayam atape phalanyapi pararthaya.
Phalanyapi.
I make this mistake always. Phalanyapi pararthaya rikshaya satpurusha iva.
Vrikshaha satpurusha iva. Well read. Good, Varya. So now, so let us just take the first line here. Chayam anyasya kurvanti. Do you see any potential sandhi?
Yes, there is a chayam anyasya. Chayam plus anyasya.
Chayam plus anyasya. Is there a sandhi?
Yes, there is. Chaya plus.
Is there a sandhi or just a samyoga?
No, it's a sandhi. It's a dirgha. Savarna dirgha sandhi.
Where there is savarna dirgha?
Chayayam plus anyasya.
No. You're over projecting. See, the two words are chayam halantamakara anyasya starting with a swarakshara akara.
Okay.
So halanta makara joined the swara akara to make a natural samyuktakshara ma. Nobody has disappeared.
Okay.
No new syllable has come into the location. So there is no adesha, no agama. So there is only samyoga. Samyuktakshara only has happened. Okay. So there is no sandhi, but still there is a padavibhaga. Varya, you are correct. Padavibhaga doesn't necessarily mean only sandhi breaking. Even samyoga breakings have to be done. Okay.
Yes.
What we have to identify, where is the pada border, we have to know. That by over time mastering the words of Sanskritam, we get that. Chayam anyasya kurvanti. So that is the breakup. Thank you, Varya.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. So let me invite Mamta. Varya?
Yes, sir.
Ready. Bhagini is ready. Tishtanti swayam atape. Can you identify?
Yes, sir. The Tishtanti is Tishtanti only.
Only. Very good.
Swayam, we have to open that. Swayam ma is missing there. That anuswar is missing there. Swayam. Atape. Swayam
Actually, it is a halanta makara only. But anyway, swayam and then atape. Okay.
Yeah.
Why it is halanta makara only is because why it is not anuswara is because there is a a is a swarakshara, so the instead of anuswara halanta makara will be used. Okay.
Correct.
We saw that no earlier also. I explained it in one of the classes. So very good. Tishtanti swayam atape. Wonderful, Mamtaji. Malati ji. Her name was
Yes,
right
sir.
there.
Yes.
You may have been called in earlier. Doesn't matter. You get
Yeah.
extra. So
Yeah.
palayanti pararthaya.
Yeah. Phala.
Sorry, palanyapi pararthaya. I misread it. I apologize.
Phalam plus anya. Phalanya plus api.
Bhagini is overextending. Just look again. Very simple. Phalanyapi.
Yeah, api is very clear.
Api is very clear. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Now what remains?
Phalan.
Phalani. Yakara is in the place of a
Phalani
ikara.
plus api.
See, yakara has that reverse ikara, right? So palanya. So just what you do in your mouth, no, don't throw away the ya. Api you take out, but keep the y. So palanya. It must be palani. It will come to you. Okay? So phalam is a napumsaka. So palani, plural of phalam. So phalani api. And this one, is there any sandhi there?
No, doesn't look like.
There is, but it is an internal sandhi, Bhagini. Para plus arthaya is there, but it is an internal sandhi within a samasta. Okay?
So should we split it, right? Or?
No. At this level, we are not asked to split the samasta padas. Because para is without any, it's a pure stem.
Okay.
It is without any vibhakti pratyaya. So when you don't see vibhakti pratyaya there, then that means there is no normal two-word sandhi. Here, palani, ni was a napumsaka pratyaya. So there is nothing like that. So para hyphen arthaya you can do if you wish to show. If you wish, you can show para hyphen arthaya, but not needed also. Okay? Para arthaya only will write. So that's a full pada now. Moment a samasta pada has been made, it gets the full pada title. Okay? The elements inside have become stems now. Para plus artha plus then vibhakti together. To parartha, a vibhakti aya is added. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Mohan Ram Varya. Vrikshaha Satpurusha Iva. Do you see anything there?
Vrikshaha Satpurusha Iva. I don't see any sandhi there.
Good. Actually, I like his honesty. I normally at this level I wouldn't see either. But there is nothing in Sanskritam like Satpurusha like that. Purushaha we know, Purushaha we know. There is no Purushau we know. There is no Purusha in any vibhakti. Purushaha, Purushau, Purushaha, Purusham, Purusho. So we know the Rama Shabda, we are all good grooms, right? To not get that famous bride. So that Purusha is absent in even Rama table. Okay?
Right.
So something is wrong there. So there must be some sandhi. That's how we think. Actually, this is a Visarga Lopa sandhi. Okay? Over later, much later, you will touch Visarga sandhi in the next level, perhaps in Shiksha. But anyway, reversing we have to learn Satpurushaha Iva. So there is a Visarga elided. Okay? It's not easy. You will get that as a cycle ride. We will learn it, not in all the technical glory. Anyway, so Chayam Anyasya Kurvanti Tishtanti Swayam Atape. Kama, you remember to write in exam. Phalani api pararthaya vrikshaha satpurushaha iva. So they give shade to others. They themselves stand in the hot sun. And even their fruits are for the benefit of others. Hey, these trees indeed are like Satpurushas, are like great people. Oh, if only great people were like Vrikshas. We are trying to equate the wrong direction. Or actually, the intent of the Kavi is if you want to be called Satpurusha, you have to be like trees. Yeah, lovely. Lovely.
Sir,
Subhashi.
one question.
Yes.
With this word Satpurushaha and the elision of the Visarga, that is one sandhi. But Purusha
Correct.
plus Sat, that part is what?
That one is again a samasta.
This concept, sir, I think will take some time
Take
to
some time.
differentiate.
Don't worry.
Sandhi and
Here and
samasta.
there we will face defeat. There are many thorns on the way.
Right, sir.
They said that first. Somebody is very smart who has constructed this question paper. The answers to many of your questions are coded already in the other.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And don't worry, we will make mistakes. We will try to get high first class. 100 out of 100 beginnies. We will leave the beginnies go for that. Some of the students here know more than me, so I am so happy. Okay, right. So I will call Katyayani, who didn't unmute herself last time. Katyayani. Don't be shy, please. Just participate. None of us are experts here. I struggle a lot. Katyayani. Okay. Krishnan Varya.
Yes, sir.
What is Visheshanam?
Can I speak in English or in?
Yeah. Your question is in English.
Okay. Visheshanam is something that describes a Visheshya.
Okay, very good. Now, can you state that in English terms also to elaborate further?
Okay. In English, we say that an adjective qualifies a noun.
Correct. A Visheshanam is an adjective that qualifies a noun in bracket Visheshyam. Okay? That would be a complete answer. Wonderful. Okay. So, an adjective that qualifies another word or object is a Visheshanam. I have given a very terse answer. You gave a beautiful answer. Thank you, Varya.
Thank you.
So, Manasi Vishwamurti. Manasi Varya.
Yes, sir.
Madam. Which three are common to Visheshanam and Visheshyam? So easy.
Sir, I'm just checking for the answer. I'm unable to find, sir.
Oh, okay. See what the question is, we learned Visheshana Visheshya Bhava in this lesson, right? First lesson. So there were three qualities of them pairing to each other. Do you recall what? I mean, don't worry about looking anywhere. Just think about it. How do we identify something as a Visheshanam in a Vakya, right? Because there is a way in which it tracks this guy. In what three ways it tracks is the question. Do you remember?
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, don't worry. Just revise the lessons. It's very easy. So let us invite Indira Variye, who is unmuted. Indira Variye, do you remember?
Yes, sir.
What are the three?
The Vachana, Linga, and Vibhakti. There was a sloka about it. Tat Vachanam, Tat.
Correct. Yad Vachanam, Yad Yallingam, Yad Vachanam, Yacha Vibhakti Visheshyasya Tallingam, Tad Vachanam, Sacha Vibhakti Visheshanasya Api is the sloka, right? Not bad. My old brain is able to churn that out. So, Lingam, Vachanam, Vibhakti. Very terse answer I have given on the visual, but the correct full detail answer you have to give. The three things that are common to Visheshanam and Visheshyam are their Lingam, Vachanam and Vibhakti, or in brackets in English, you can say their gender, their number, and their declension. Something like that. Case. Vibhakti is case, not declension. Case. Okay. Akhila. I should not ignore you because you come first in the list always. Akhila Variye.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hello, madam. So, what is the Vibhakti in Aham Variye? Not like the bridegroom. Please answer like the bride. What is the Vibhakti in Aham?
Pradama Vibhakti.
Pratama Vibhakti. See, you qualify to be the bride. Okay, then continue the answer. What was the bridegroom's answer for this question? Akhila Variye. What was the bride? What Vibhakti he said? In Rama Shabda, Ramam, he thought, he thought Ramam, so he said Aham, Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana. Okay? Very good. I appreciate you. I know, I think you have a small child, but you are taking the extra effort despite, managing the child also. I appreciate you. We are very, very happy about the effort you're making. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, Aham Pratama Vibhakti, bridegroom Dvitiya as in Ramam. According to the bridegroom. Okay. To whom will everyone become a servant will be answered by Neeta Warrior. Neeta Warrior.
Yes, sir.
To whom everyone will become a servant?
To the person who has controlled his desire.
Wonderful. Okay, now do you recall the verse itself a little bit? No. Okay, don't worry. That's a tough one. So, all become servants of their desires. Ashayaha dasaha. Okay. So, the verse is correct. What you become? One who control the senses. That is also correct answer. But here, to whom will everyone... correct. Actually, your answer is correct. This answer is wrong. Okay, your answer is accurate because the question is to whom will everyone become a servant? All will become a servant to the one who is a vashi, one who has controlled his ashas. Okay, so this I have to edit. Good. See, Bhagini has studied correctly. Okay, so now the last one. Let us invite, before we close the class today, I thought I will jump into second class. Somebody who has a Vivo phone and who bought it in 2018, perhaps. Vivo 2018? Who is that? Or maybe definitely not born in 2018. Maybe they had their first child in 2018. Okay.
Vishwanatha?
They don't know. No. Okay, but you are unmuted, sir. I like the opportunity you take. So, Vishwanath Varya, how many types of sandhis are there? What is Swara Sandhi is your chance?
Mine is also Vivo 2018. That's
good, sir. See, you are honest. I like that. Sir, please tell me how many types of sandhis are there? According to the book, there are a few more according to...
There are three types of sandhis.
Very good.
Sandhi, the Vyanjana Sandhi and the Visarga Sandhi.
Visarga Sandhi. So now continuing, what is Swara Sandhi?
Euphonic combination of involving two swaras is called a Swara Sandhi.
Very good. Okay, enough as per the book is sufficient to remember and answer. Well done. There are 3 types of sandhi: swara, vyanjana, visarga. You can say swara sandhi, vyanjana sandhi, visarga sandhi. Also, you can type. When 2 vowels, you can say trailing the first part and leading the second one, not needed. Combine into a new syllable, new euphonic combination, then a swara sandhi occurs. It can be between words or within one. This is all extra masala, but Mahodaya will get his full marks. Okay. So guys, you have done very well. In fact, I have wrong answer in the screen. So I have to go edit this. I will do that so that my next class when I teach, I have the correct answers. I shouldn't look like a fool here. This one I have to, I'll make it red so that I know to correct it. And somewhere else I was not a little off. I think others were okay. I don't think I have. So maybe this is all I should great. Okay, it's not needed as really the original answer. Okay. So guys, thank you very much. If you don't have any trailing questions as we end the class today, let us call it a closure. Namaste, namasarvebhyah, dhanyavadaha. So Shanti mantra. So sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Namasarvebhyah.